What's up guys, Quezzy back with a brand new video, and today we're doing something completely different. Now, in the version 7.0 update that updated Fortnite to Season 7, added a bunch of new things. Fortnite added creative mode to the game. Now what creative mode basically is, for those of you who don't know, you get your own private island. You can literally build whatever you want. You can go through the settings, pick out walls, you can pick out prefabs of buildings that are in the game already, and pretty much do whatever you want and build whatever you want. Now what I decided to do is, Fortnite recently tweeted out a contest, and what this contest is to build something, anything creative. And what you want to do is you want to build it in a 24 or 25 by 25 tile area, and what you want to do once you've done that is just make whatever you want. Make something super creative, and if Fortnite sees it and they like it, they're going to add it into the game on this thing called the block. And now the block is something that they just recently added in. Nothing's been featured on it yet, but maybe, just maybe, I'll be the first. So what I did is I went into creative mode and I started to get to work, and I made this little town type city thing, and I spent a lot of time on this, and I think it turned out really good. So what I wanted to do in this video is just go through my town and just kind of show you guys everything in it, and go in more in depth, because I put a video on my Twitter with the hashtag FortniteBlockParty, and that's where you want to upload your creations to make Fortnite see it. But I just kind of showed a pan view of the top of it and didn't really go into depth, so that's what I wanted to do here in this video. So getting stuff started, we're gonna get started here over at the water tower. Now everything that I built in this city is pretty much custom. I mean, I took most of like the main and my favorite things from the regular game and kind of put my own twist on it, and made, I personally think, made stuff that looks a little bit better. So we'll start off at the water tower. Pretty average water tower, got some electrical stuff down low, and this was something I just wanted to test out in creative. Now I like turned this bus and put it on its side and made it look like it's resting on the fence, and I just thought it looked really cool. And that was kind of me just playing around with some of the things you really can do in this creative mode. And it just amazed me, all like the different options you have for building stuff. So that's just something I kept in because I thought it looked cool. But anyways, we'll continue on. We have a truck here, and this is the first real building. Not the first one I built, but the first building on our little tour. So this building is kind of like a storage building, a community building, it looks like. So I kind of decorated it with some construction stuff, painting up there, but just boxes and things like that. And it's just kind of like a storage warehouse type shed building, but I made it a little bigger and made it look a little bit better. So that's the first building that we're going to look at in the town. Second is a gas station. I mean, it's pretty much exactly the same as any gas station that you'd find in the regular Fortnite map. I just kind of moved the cars around a little bit so it looked a little bit nicer, and put the sign on the roof just because it just looked a little too crowded in this corner, and if it's back here you can't really see it because of this building. So I put it on the roof, and I think it looks really good so you can see it from the street. And then we'll move on to the clock tower. Now obviously this was taking a lot of inspiration from the clock tower and tilted towers, but I added these little siding pieces onto it, and I just think it looks a little bit better. I think it makes it have my own little twist on it. I'm not 100% sure if it's the same height or not, but I mean, there's nothing really in here, just some floors going all the way up to the top. Again, it's kind of similar to the tilted towers one, as there's windows up here with the floor and the roof. It looks really similar, but I think it looks really good. Then we got some cars, and this is where we move on to the actual first house. Now, funny story, I actually had one giant house covering the land that both of these houses are sitting on now, but I decided I didn't like the look of it. It looked a little out of place, and only one house in a small town looked a little weird. So I decided to kind of chop it up into two different looking houses, and I was kind of going for a modern type feel. This kind of looks more like a townhouse almost, but I think it turned out really good. It's totally custom. I just took the walls from the prefab houses, or like the prefab sets that they have for you to build with, and just made my own custom house with it. And that's just the beauty of creative mode. You can literally build whatever you want and just have fun with it. So we'll go inside really quick. Simple TV room. TVs are kind of bugged in creative. This one's floating. We got a kitchen with washer and dryer. We got upstairs, and then we got a bedroom here. I just kind of decorated it simply because, you know, the inside doesn't really matter. I think it's the outside that counts, and a bathroom right here. And then this is my personal favorite house out of the two. This one, I built this one first before this one, and I think this is one of the best looking houses that I've ever seen in in creative mode. From what I've seen from other people's creations, I mean, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I think this house looks really, really good. It's taken some actual parts from the modern houses that are in Fortnite, like the garage propped open with the car. I just thought that looked really good, and it added like a couple more layers to the house. But as you can see, a bunch of windows in the front, and then we have a garage here, leads out to the car, and then we got again another TV room, another kitchen with some seating. Come upstairs, and there's like a little storage area above the garage, and then over here is the bathroom. Again, just a regular bathroom, nothing too fancy, nothing too special. Again, inside doesn't really matter as much to me, but bedroom there, and I think it looks pretty nice. So those are the two houses that I built, and I mean, I just think they look really, really good. They fit in really nicely with like the theme of the city, I think, or the town. If I didn't mention this earlier, I'm calling this place Sunny Suburbs just because it kind of felt like a little town, but nothing too crazy and big. There's a lot of places near where I live, and they're just big houses, but in really, really small towns with low population. So that's a little bit of where I got the inspiration from. But you can see backyards here with some nice windows, and have this brick, I guess, going around the entire thing. I don't know why these are moved. But just like that, you can pretty much copy and build whatever you want. That's just pretty much how the creative mode works in this game. You use the cell phone and you can just do whatever you want with it, which is pretty cool. So there's these two houses, and then I moved on to the park. And once again, I had another brick house right here, but I decided it kind of took up too much space, especially because the lowest I could possibly go was 3 spaces wide, or 3 tiles wide. And I just didn't think that it looked that great overall. It felt like it was too crowded and too crammed, and it made this park area seem a little bit too closed off. So I decided to replace it with a basketball court, and I took the actual basketball court prefab and took all the pieces with the lines on it, and that's how I made this little key area. I dropped a basketball toy in here, so I mean, just for looks, but you know, you could shoot if you want. And then I decided to put the basketball nets on the outside and just have the nets hang over. I don't know, I just thought it would look a little bit better, and since it's a little bit shorter lengthwise than the regular basketball courts in game, I decided I could save a little bit of room by doing that and making the key one smaller as opposed to two tiles wide. So that's what I did there, and then I made this little gazebo area, and I just think this looks really, really cool. I can't remember exactly if this is the exact same size as the Tilted Tower, not the Tilted Towers one, the Pleasant Park one, but it looks really, really similar just because I like the design of it so much, and it just fits in really well, especially with a little suburb area. I think you need to have a park. Even if it's not that big and green, I just think this gazebo area with the benches underneath look really, really nice. So I put one in. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same as the Pleasant Park one, but definitely took ideas from that one. Then we move over to the grocery store, the Nom store, and as you can probably tell, this isn't a regular Nom store. I had to make my own custom one with the pieces from the prefab just because I wanted one, but I couldn't fit the actual giant one that's in Retail Row on here. Plus, I really like making my own stuff custom anyways. So I made my own, and I mean, I think it looks pretty good. It's all a small suburb really needs, just a corner store convenience market type thing. But there's everything you'd need in here. I think it looks really, really good. I think it's one of my favorite buildings, to be honest. And then here's a building that I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with. Now, it is the detective agency prefab, but I've switched a couple of the walls around because I have a couple ideas of what I want to do, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I might turn this into a restaurant or like a schoolhouse or something, but I'm just not sure at this point yet. Leave ideas in the comment section down below of ideas you wanted to see this room turned into, but for now it's going to stay empty until I think of something that I'm really excited about. So that's that building. It once was a detective agency, now it's just an empty room with some floors, but that will change very, very soon. We have a security camera around the back, and that takes us back to the water tower pretty much. So the last thing I did in this town is kind of add decorations throughout. So as you can see, I kind of added these pieces for curbs. I think they look pretty good. Some signs, street signs, stoplights and stuff like that. I just think it adds to it. And then I added street lights all the way around, kind of a walking path that goes around the entire suburb, which I think looks really, really good. And then once I was done with all of that, once I'd finished adding all the details that I wanted to into the actual city, I went ahead and started putting foliage and trees and bushes all around it, just to kind of give it a more like secluded feel and make it feel like it was more more pushed into a suburb as opposed to in the middle of a big city. And I think it just turned out really, really well. I kind of just started throwing stuff on the ground, trying to make it look as natural as possible. But there's some things that obviously like that. But yeah, I started just throwing bricks and trees and stuff all around the outside of this place, and I just think it turned out really, really good. And I'm hoping I get to see it in game. That'd be pretty awesome. We'll have to see. I put it on Twitter. I don't know how many people saw it. I haven't really been checking up on it, but this is my creation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just wanted to show you guys in this video because I spent a lot of time on this thing, adding a lot of small details that you probably wouldn't notice unless you watched a video like this. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe for new, and this has been Quezzy, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. Hope you enjoyed.